Hi guys, welcome to the Soul on Fire show. I am so excited because today is Wednesday and we get to teach on Wednesdays. And I am so grateful for those that are on the live, those that are on the replay. Thank you for being here. I would not have this show without you guys. So today we are going deep into the manifestation process and understanding the difference between manipulation and manifestation. And it is completely two different energies. And so often we're taught to really work hard and grind, and we're going to go into the grinding energy and what that looks like in the true energies of manifestation. Welcome. If those of you that are new to my channel, we are here, and I am a quantum energy trainer. We go deep into the quantum fields and we merge science and spirituality to break you through your upper limits. And so thanks for being here, guys. I'm Noelle Agape, and so let's get right into it because it's super important to understand that the manifestation process is amazing and incredible. And when you know and understand, I'm an NLP trainer, I'm a licensed counselor, an NLP trainer, and I'm a quantum energy trainer. And so I've been doing this for 20 years, guys, 20 years. And so it's a beautiful journey of manifestation. But what I want to start off with, and this is the most important thing, is the manifestation process is a process between you and God. You are the co-creator of your universe. And when you understand that you're manifesting all day, every day, and what is coming into your outer world is an exact blueprint of what is in your inner world. Right. And so understanding that thoughts become things, and I'm going to teach you how thoughts become things on today. We're going to go deep into the whole manifestation process and understanding what that looks like and understanding how to actually have the life of your dreams. And because there's always adversity, there's always things that are going to come up, and I'm going to teach you how to deal with that adversity. So stay till the end, guys, because I've got some amazing takeaways for you that are literally going to go deep into unlocking the manifestation process. So let's start with the manifestation process, and then actually let's start with the manipulation process, right? So the manipulation process is very, very different than the manifestation process. We are actually natural born manifestors. And if you don't know it, like, you are manifesting all day, every day. And we have, as a society, been taught to like grind and manipulate and work really hard and make things happen, right? When you're making things happen in the quantum fields, it's like, it's actually kind of silly when you make things happen, because most of the time when you have a vibratory field of like the manipulation, and that's what you're emanating out, that's when your manifestations come in really, really wonky. Meaning, like, you thought that you wanted something and it shows up and it's like completely opposite of whatever it is, right? And so understanding that, like, the grinding energy is really the wounded masculine, and I'm going to go deep into the masculine and feminine energies. Again, it's not sex, it's 100% just energy, because we all have masculine and feminine energies within us. I'm going to go deep into the masculine and feminine energies, understanding what that means in the manifestation process, when to take action, when not to take action in the manifestation process. But controlling energies or manipulating energies, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's with money, whether it's within a business or whatever, if you're manipulating, right? Just think of the word manipulation, right? Manipulation is actually it's like constructing something that to be to your benefit, right? And so in the quantum fields, everything is you outpushed, right? So when you understand this, and this is a very deep quantum thought, but when you understand that everything is you outpushed, meaning that everything that you manifesting all day, every day, is showing up in your reality, is your thoughts, your patterns, your beliefs, and everything that's turned into momentum to turn into that. And so when you're trying to manipulate what is going on, because you're not doing the inner work that's required to go in, things happen over and over and over again. It's different lessons, different people, different circumstances. It's showing you in life. And so my biggest thing, and those that know, I've been on this journey for the last, 20 years, but for 8 years, I was in a relationship, and I ended that relationship, and then paused for about a year, and took it about a year to myself and focused on my kids and my business. Then went into another relationship, and we're, friends, but paused on the relationship piece. That's when I actually started to be like, okay, this is like me. It's actually not the other people. Whatever was coming up in my reality was actually I had to take accountability for. I've only been in 4 very serious relationships in my life, long term, 19 years with my ex-husband, then 3 years with a man, and then 8 years, and then just a short 7 months or whatever it was. But those are the biggest relationships that I've been in my life. And, of course, I've had other relationships like my family, my kids, and things like that. But what I wanted to teach you today is about manifestation and understanding what you're manifesting in your life, right? So those that know me, there's no secret, right? My greatest desire is to be in divine union and bring our purpose out together as partners, lovers, and best friends out to the world, right? And so what I had to face in this journey of being a type A athlete that really has manifested everything she's ever wanted in her entire life. I've manifested everything I've ever wanted in my entire life. Some things, I can manifest a little bit better, and that's the work we all have to do. But I truly have manifested everything I've ever wanted, to the point of, even with my ex-husband, like, I showed him a picture of my ring once, and 5 years after we started dating, that exact ring showed up on my finger, right? The house that I live in, the car that I live in, they've all been manifestations. My relationship with my kids, it's a manifestation because I do the inner work, right? I do deep quantum work on a daily basis. And there were times, and I will be full transparency, where it was more manipulation than manifestation. And when you're in the manipulation piece, it's, I'm going to win. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to force this to happen. I'm going to do something, to manipulate the mind and the energy of someone, right? That's not coming from an authentic space of unconditional love. Now, I mind hack and energy hack for a living. Like, I literally teach, I'm an NLP trainer and a quantum energy trainer and a licensed counselor. I teach people how to manipulate their emotions, right? So it was super easy for me to manipulate situations and time and space and things like that. But what was coming up so often and so frequently was that I was doing that, and I was coming up in this space where it was like my manifestations were coming to pass, but they weren't coming to pass fully in the way that I wanted to. At least in relationships, they weren't, right? They were coming out really, really wonky, and they were not in a space where, and they were amazing, incredible, beautiful humans. And I have to say that this right off the top, that the 4 relationships that I've been in my life have been beautiful, amazing men, like absolutely beautiful souls that just were not on my journey for my lifetime, right? And so I, again, used to manipulate things in a way, not in like a narcissistic way, not gaslighting, not all that stuff, but definitely manipulate time and space and energy and all that stuff, so it would be, to my benefit. But what I found often in the space of mostly in the last 6 months, that I've gone deep into this soul journey, deep of divine union, deep into it, was that the other person that you're trying to manipulate is actually a version of you. When I say that they're a version of you, everything in your life is a version of you, whether it's, money, whether it's your business, whether it's a relationship, it's actually whatever is going on with you internally, right? And so when you look at that this situation is you out pushed, meaning that this is a version of you in the quantum fields that is teaching you something. It's teaching you to have soul expansion, right? Our souls are here to experience and expand. And so this is a really, really deep show and a really, really deep topic, but I promise you guys that if you're trying to manifest, it's going to help you, right? So stay till the end, because I'm going to actually give you tools and takeaways of how to do that. So with manipulation, it's control, it's gaslighting, it's like sometimes trying to make people jealous. It's, you can manipulate money, you can manipulate in sales. What I have found is that sometimes it works. I mean, often it works because your energy is so much focused on that and it's moved towards it. But what happens is, your karma comes back to you. And I'm a firm believer of cause and effect, is that what you put out comes back to you, right? And that's a very quantum thing, is that, if you're emanating something out that's manipulation, it's going to come back in a not high vibrational form. right? So with that being said, manifestation is, and those that know me know that I teach the exact manifestation process, right? So it's the electromagnetic fields and it's the thoughts that become the heightened sense of emotion, right? And so that's the thoughts are the electro, the magnetic is a heightened sense of emotion. But your thoughts become patterns, your patterns become beliefs, and your beliefs become your reality, right? So if you're in the vibration of manipulation as opposed to that's not manifesting. It's not like when you understand that anything you do in any way that is manipulation, if it's, even just making a post, or if it's like intentional manipulation, anything that you do is going to affect the manifestation and the outcome of that, because the intent behind it is not a high vibration ever. And so you need to understand that, like, manipulation is a really, really, really toxic low vibration, period. End of subject, right? And so it's not true manifestation. True manifestation is, like I said, you're manifesting all day, every day. And that is like your belief systems. What do you believe, right? So you have to start at the end with your manifestation, right? What do I want? Clear, concise, what do I want, right? And for me, it's divine union, and I want to be married and spend my life together. I have literally I have, my home is beautiful in San Diego. My kids, my relationship with my kids is better than it's ever been. And my relationship with my ex-husband is getting better because I'm manifesting it getting better. And it's truly was just this one pain point in my life, right? So everybody is always going to have a pain point that's more like, somebody can be really amazing in business, but not great in relationships. Somebody can be great in relationships and business and money, but they always going to have something that the universe is going to push you to expand on, always, because we're here to experience and expand. That's why our souls are here. So understanding that we're manifesting all day, understanding that we're co-creators of our universe, understanding that our thoughts become patterns, our patterns become beliefs, and our beliefs become reality. We get to choose our thoughts. We get to choose our energy. We get to choose our focus, right? And so if the opposite of what you actually desire is showing up, it's because that's where your vibration is, guys. And so I need you to hear that. Like, you are not a victim. You may have been victimized, but you're not a victim to your circumstances. You can change your circumstances. You can change your life. Sometimes it takes time, and you have to get into alignment with, a manifestation of it. You have to truly, truly embody being it before it actually shows up in your reality. So I want you to take a quick look at your life and just say, okay, what's showing up in your reality, right? What are the patterns? And change the name, and take the names and the faces and of the people and the things that have happened, and just look at the pattern, guys, because underlying that is your belief system, right? Is it, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm not safe, secure, and protected, I'm not lovable, I'm not whole and complete? What is your belief system around that's happening right there? What is it teaching you? What is it showing you? Where do you need to expand? Where have you not expanded? Where are you fighting the expansion with manipulation, right? But your ego will say, no, it's easier if we do this way. This is what I'm really good at. I can actually manipulate it to being in this way, as opposed to truly looking within and seeing that there's something going on within you that you have to change that pattern. When you understand that it's all you, everything is you. It has nothing to do with the other person, period. It's pretty controversial that I'm going to say this, but it's the truth. And anyone that knows the quantum fields knows that it has nothing to do with the other person. It is 100% to do with you. They are showing you something that is inside of you. So if you get upset with somebody, or somebody's betrayed you, or somebody has left you, or rejected you, or ghosted you, or lied to you, or cheated on you, or whatever it may be, has nothing to do with them. Period. It is an energy that is inside of you that you have not healed. You have to go in and you have to heal that energy. You have to heal that belief system. You have to actually transmute it. But if that is showing up in your reality, the opposite is on the other side of that, right? And so what you get to do is take accountability for your energy, and you get to take accountability for your actions, and you get to take accountability for your thoughts and your patterns, and you get to actually go in and do the inner work. And I have spent the last 3 months of my life, guys, I've done this work for 20 years, and I have gone deep, deep, deep for 20 years. I mean, when I tell you I've gone to the dark night of the souls often, right? To get through that. The last 3 months, I've taken a different approach, completely different approach to my manifesting. What I have done over the last 3 months is I have absolutely every single time anything has come up, anytime I've gotten triggered because I, get triggered just like everybody else, I pause. I go in, and there are times where I reacted instead of responded. But I promise you this, within 24 hours, I was responding, not reacting, because it is always me. Everything that has happened is something for me. In the last 3 months, I have focused on my business. I've focused on my kids. I have focused on me. I have gone deep, deep, deep into my soul, right? Of my inner wounds, of what was going on and what was preventing me. What came up for me was massive, massive things on the healing journey. But it's the most incredible thing that I want to teach you guys is that when I understood that the things that were showing up from the other people's behavior was 100% my accountability. There was no blame. It was easy to forgive because I was working with myself to forgiving it. I went back to my end, meaning I focused for especially in the last 3 weeks, which has been mind blowing, by the way, on the end, right? Every single time I had a thought, I was like, oh no, that's not even my truth, right? I would recorrect my mind. I would recorrect my heart. I would go in and I'd clear my energy and I'd go back to my end. What is my end? Okay, this is, I'm married. I'm happy. Our life is together. We're in divine union. We're on stages together. We're sharing our TV show, right? And I go back to that every single time, anything that came up that was like jarring to me. Right. And there were moments in time where I had the reactions. And when you have the reaction, it's just your ego. And it's like, oh, okay. But when you pull back and you're like, wait, what is this teaching me? What is this showing me? What is my end? This is not the energy that I want to be in. Right. And it's literally like tunnel vision. When I tell you guys, it's like tunnel vision. It's like, this is my goal. This is my intentions. I don't like the word goal, but this is my intentions. This is my desire. I'm full force only with my desire. I will not let anything else in. And there have been people that have left my life. There have been energies that have come in and come out of my life, primarily because I have non-negotiables. When you're manifesting and not manipulating, right? Manipulating is a super low vibration. Manifesting is this. Manifesting is your thoughts become patterns, your patterns become beliefs, and your beliefs become reality. Hyper-focused, single point intention of your controlling your electromagnetic fields, controlling your biochemistry, controlling what is going on in your life. Single point intention. Adversity comes up, it's going to come up, period. Adversity is always going to come up. Your ego and life is going to show you where you need more work because we're here to experience and expand. Every single time, something came up. Okay, I did have a reaction to that. That was not the best reaction. How can I be better? How can I be better in this situation? And where's my end? What vibration am I at? Oh, okay. Where's my electromagnetic fields? What's my thoughts on this? And what's my heightened sense of emotion on this? Okay, my thought on this is fear of loss or rejection, right? What's my heightened sense of emotion? Anger. Okay, what's that going to manifest? If I continue to do that path and build momentum in that space, that's what's going to manifest, right? So your manifestation in your reality of right now is actually your past vibrations that you have created. And so when you understand that that's your past, the only thing you have is right now to tap into your future of what you want and act as if it is already done. Now, I know this is all over the world, all over the internet, that act as if, right? So how do you act as if? It's so important to understand. We're going to learn how to do that when we come back, guys. Stay tuned because I'm going to go really quantum in the next couple sessions, segments. And we're going to talk about understanding the quantum fields, that there's an infinite field of possibilities that you can tap into, and the version of you that you want to obtain, that you don't need to manipulate to get to, but the version of you that you want to. I'm going to show you how to do that. Stay tuned, guys. We will be right back. Hi, guys. Welcome back. Thank you so much for being on the Soul on Fire show. I'm so excited to be here because we're talking quantum today. We are going deep into the quantum fields and understanding what it is to manifest and how to actually manifest, not manipulate. When you manipulate in any way, shape, or form, it is an incredibly low vibration, incredibly low vibration, incredibly low vibration. So when your ego thinks, if I do this, this will be the outcome. And it's like being strategic. And the word strategic itself is absolutely manipulation, just so you guys know. And that's what like came to me this year was like anybody that's like playing a chess game in life and trying to be incredibly strategic in their life is actually not living in authenticity. Period. Because when you're strategic, you're not actually manifesting, you're just trying to play chess with like the energies and move things around and like it's manipulation. It's 100% manipulation. And so it's kind of cool to be strategic in the sense if you're using strategy to become a manifesting miracle or whatever it may be, then that's very different. But if you're strategic with manipulation behind it, guys, that's literally like, I'm going to do this to make this happen and this happen and this happen and this happen, right? That is not manifesting at all. As a matter of fact, that's your ego, and you need to check your ego and maybe take a reel back. But what, like the word strategic alone, I want like, what is strategy, right? It's I'm going to have a plan and I'm going to execute that plan to make this happen. That's not what manifestation is. Manifestation is I'm actually going to connect to the energy. I'm going to embody that energy. I'm going to become that energy, and I'm going to bring that energy out to the world. And so it's a very different vibration, very, very different vibration than knowing what like strategy and a game of chess. Like there's very, very intelligent people that can strategize, and there's very intelligent people that can manipulate, but that doesn't mean that you're doing things from your highest self nor authenticity in any way, shape, or form. And so when I want to talk to you about manifesting is that manifesting is a piece of it's you and God, source, universe, your highest self, whatever you believe it to be. It's actually you being a vibrational match to something. Now, when you have true Christ consciousness and true spiritual maturity, you're manifesting from a place of, I want to manifest this for the greater and higher good, right? If that's not your intention, there's manipulation behind it, period. If you're not manifesting things for the greater and highest good of everyone involved, then you truly have manipulation. And I think we've all been a part of that, where it's like, I'm going to win, right? I was an athlete my entire life. I wanted to win, right? My kids are athletes. They want to win, right? But if it's not, it's different in sports. It's not different in sports. It's the same in sports, but it's tapping into your own inner ability to be your own hero, to be your own, like it's a competition within yourself and the old version of yourself. So how did the old version of yourself act in those patterns and those things? And how are you going to move through that energy? How are you going to learn? How are you going to expand? How are you going to move from contracted energy into expanded energy, right? And even in sports, it's a game within inside your head. It's not a game within the outer world, right? And so how you show up is how you show up. And if you truly think in any way that manipulation is going to help you in any way, it's a terrible vibration. It's a very, very it's a very selfish vibration, right? And so it's a very low vibe. And why do people manipulate? People manipulate because they they either have anxious attachment to style or avoidant attachment to style. And so when people manipulate, especially in relationships or in business, what happens often is that they're trying to manipulate because their insecurities are within them, right? And so when you understand that you are God's source universe in a physical body, and you actually can tap into Christ consciousness, which is what we're going to talk about in this segment, and how to tap into the Christ consciousness, that you can co-create. You are the co-creator of your reality, right? You don't need to manipulate anything. I'm not saying you need to sit, and I just did a post on this on Instagram the other day. You have to take inspired action, right? You have to have the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies in order, right? So the divine feminine energies are creative, they're playful, they're intuitive, they're spiritual, right? And that's the idea, the thought, right? The emotional part is also the divine feminine and how you manage your emotions, right? The action behind that is the divine masculine, the inspired action, the motivation, that is truly moving into when you're like, okay, I have this thought, How do I make it a thing? How do you make your thoughts of things? With momentum, right? It's just pure science. If the more momentum you have in a positive vibration, it's going to be a positive. The more momentum you have in a negative vibration, it's going to be negative. Again, if you have the idea that you can manipulate anyone or anything to happen, that's a very low vibration, and that's what your manifestation is going to come out as a very low vibration, right? So you never really want to be, it's not a strategy that you want to have. You want to have intentions. You want to connect to that intention. You want to write down everything that you desire, and every single detail of that desire. And then I want to ask you to ask yourself, why do you want that, right? What part of it is egoic? What part of it is your purpose? What part of it is to make you happy, right? Then I want you to ask and go even further than that. And I want you to say, okay, where am I in a needy energy where I need to manipulate? I need to be strategic. I need to do, like, that's a very needy energy. And when you're in a needy energy, it's super, super toxic, right? And understanding that's not you in your power. That's not you in your frame. When you're in your frame and you're in your energy and you're connected to God, source, the universe, and you have an inspired thought, and then you take inspired action on that thought, and then you connect with the person that's at the right place at the right time, where you start to see synchronicities of numbers. The universe talks to you. God, source, the universe talks to you through people, and they talk to through numbers. They talk to circumstances. And so if you're not listening and you're not dancing with the universe and you're not hearing what's going on around you, you will try to manipulate it because you have such a strong desire, but your desires are not happening the way you want them to happen because you're manipulating, you're strategizing, you're setting goals, you're working really hard, you're grinding, right? That is like what we've been taught in society, and it's a terrible, terrible, terrible vibration. Now, you do have to show up. You can't just meditate and expect, millions of dollars to fall into your bank account and nothing happen, right? Yet you have to be in alignment with it at your highest self. So why are you doing, what is it that you want, and why do you want it, right? That is so important to understand. Why do you want it? The how and the when are not your responsibility, because there is a void in between the 0 point field and when the actual manifestation comes from the 5D to the 3. There are things that you can do to speed that process up in the quantum fields, go into a different reality and tap into a different reality. Now, it's my belief that everything is created already, and there is a version of you that is showing up, and everything that is showing up in your life is outpushed, right? Your reality that you are living, that you are focusing on, everything is you outpushed. So spiritual maturity with manifestation is taking accountability for that. Okay, this person is showing up in this way. Well, part of me either needs to be healed in that space, or I'm actually doing and they're mirroring to me, right? Which is even a bigger thing. And it's accepting accountability in that space. Really big concept, guys, but it's understanding that without question, after you have the thought, you're very clear on your intention, right? This is what you have to do. You have to act as it's already happened. How do you do that? How do you act as if it's already happened when all this craziness is going on around you? The exact opposite of your manifestation that you want. It's showing up in your reality. You detach. You become the observer of your life. You learn the lesson of whatever that was teaching you. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I'm not safe, secure, and protected. I'm not lovable. It's in fear, anger, hurt, sadness, guilt, or shame, the lower vibrations, right? Then you actually do everything in your power to do the opposite of that, right? And that is how and then you embody it, you become it, you visualize. I meditate, right? I meditate for an hour in the morning. I set my intentions for the day. I course correct throughout the day with me and God. I check in with God all day, every day. I say, okay, God, what's going on? How am I with this? Okay. Oh, this came up. This showed up in my life. This person showed up in my life, showing me that I was still in anger. How can I be better in this space? Right. Coursing correct all day, every day. At the end of the day, I literally take everything that went on in my day, everything that I went on my day, and I go through it. And I'm like, okay, how is this closer to my manifestation? this actually wasn't close to my manifestation. This was really far away from my manifestation. Where do I need to be better in that space right there? Oh, I need to control my thoughts. I need to control my energy more. I actually need to separate from this person because every time I spend time around them, I feel toxic energy, right? So understanding that there are some decisions that you have to make and choices that you have to make along the manifestation process before it actually becomes a reality for you to have that pure manifestation of your desire, right? And so at the end of the day, I also say, okay, I die to the old version of myself. What did that version of myself teach me today? That version of myself taught me, oh, I was really, really amazing today. I knocked it out of the park as a mom today. I did incredible, with my clients today. I did really, really great in relationships today, right? And I've been doing this for forever, but hyper focused on this for 3 months, guys. Hyper focused on the art of manifestation, hyper focused on Christ consciousness, hyper focused on my energy is my currency, right? My energy and my thoughts and my emotions are my currency. That is going to change my reality. Being so hyper focused on that for 3 months. Now, there are points that it's like there's stuff that's going on in my life, and this is raw and real. There's stuff that's going on in my life that like hurts my soul. And I don't want to be seeing that. Right. But I'm not even looking there. I know it's there. I'm addressing the problem because it has to be addressed. It's things that need to be taken care of in my life, but I'm learning from it. And I'm hyper focused on my end. I'm hyper focused on, okay, this is my reality. This is my reality. This is who I am. This is my new identity. This is what I am going to create. Right. And I see this. What can I do today to make this a little bit better? Right? Oh, I could do this, even if it's one little step. Take a step in that direction to make that better. Right? Okay. I did everything I can. Universe, I'm going to give the rest to you. God, source, the universe, I'm going to give the rest to you. Right? Taking a while. Then what can I focus on here in this part that can actually solve this part and this part and this part and this part, right? What do I have control over? What do I have to let go of control of? What am I trying to control? What am I trying to manipulate? Why am I trying to manipulate it? What is the meaning behind it? How important is this to me? These are all questions that you should be talking to your subconscious about. And here's the next step, guys. Talking to your mind, talking to your subconscious, talking to your heart, understand, and talking to God, source, the universe, a higher self, figuring out what it is that is the greatest and highest good, because sometimes your desire is not in alignment with the greatest and highest good. And that's when you got to be raw and real. And this happened to me just the last couple of weeks, really. It was like, God, is this the greatest and highest good? And it might not be the greatest and highest good in this moment because you're not a vibrational match to it. But it's God only says yes, no, or maybe not now, right? And so you have to ask yourself, okay, higher self, God, source, universe, subconscious, is this the greatest and highest good for me? Yes. Okay, I'm going to go in that direction. What do I need to do to go into that direction today? What are my thoughts and my emotions have to be around it? What inner work do I have to do? But what outer work do I have to do for that as well, right? You have to do the inner and outer work, right? It's important to understand you need to do the inner and the outer work. You can't just go in and meditate, and you can't just do the outer work. You have to do both. So that's the one point. The second point is that sometimes it's about surrendering, and sometimes it's about letting go completely. This morning I had something that I was literally thinking about. Like, I woke up in the middle of the night and I was thinking about it, and then I meditated and fell back to sleep. But I was thinking about it, and the solution came like this, because I was like, what if the priority, it's not a high priority right now. Today, my high priority is I have things that are high priority energetically and low priority, right? And so today, that's not really high on my priority list today. What if I just took that and actually was like, what if that never happened? And I played a game with my subconscious. I was like, what if that never existed at all? What if I never met that person? What if that never happened? And I went back in time and space. I'm telling you guys, instantly I went into a different reality. I woke up about 2 hours later. I went into meditation and then fell asleep for a little while, but woke up about 2 hours later. Instantly the problem was solved, instantly, because I was like, what if I just put that out of my mind for today? Because that's not energetically, it was it was not good for me. The thoughts were not good for me. It was going down a rabbit hole that I was going to create something out of that if I had that momentum and stayed down that rabbit hole. The thoughts were just not good for me. So I said, what if that never happened? What if I never met that person? What if, and it shifted my reality, because everything is already existing and there's a version of you that already exists. And every choice you make, every decision you make, manifesting is not, oh, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Okay, I want this. Okay, here it is. Sometimes when you're perfect alignment, that is. But I will tell you, the art of manifestation and the art of Christ consciousness, it's work, guys. You have to go in and you actually have to do the inner work. You actually have to find out what it's teaching you. You actually have to connect to that energy. And until you're a vibrational match with your electromagnetic fields, your thought and your heightened sense of emotion, that is when it will show up. But until then, everything on the process is showing you where you are in its exact blueprint. So the frequency of what is in your external world is your exact blueprint of what your thoughts and your heightened sense of emotion were. Exact blueprint. If you do not like that, then you have to change your thoughts and your heightened sense of emotion. It's that simple. It's that simple, guys. And so it's not, I don't want you to go into a process of manifestation where it's like, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to script, I'm going to journal, I'm going to do this and this, when you're still in the thought of, I'm not worthy of that. Because if you feel like you're not worthy, you're not lovable, you're not safe, you're secure, protected, all of those things, if you feel like you're not in that space because of all of those things, that's what's going to show up. Right. And I promise you guys, again, I teach this for a living. I am a quantum energy trainer. I have incredible amount of education on this, and I still have stuff that I get wonky manifestations. Like just a couple of weeks ago, something that I really wanted to happen, and honest, raw and real, I think I was like manipulating it to happen. It came and it was like a terrible manifestation, like absolutely terrible manifestation, and then it kept getting terrible for a couple of days after that, and then I just stopped and I was like, wait, this is me outpush. This is everything that is happening is because I have created it. I have created everything that is happening. And then I paused and I went in and I did the deep work. And I was like, no, this is actually not what I want. This is so far away from the manifestation that I want that I was super frustrated. And then I was like, if I manifest from a place that's super frustrated, then I'm actually not going to be able to bring in the vibration that I want. Right. And so where are you in the heightened sense of thought and heightened sense of emotion when you're trying to manifest something? Right. And it's so important to understand. And guys, those that know me and know me closely, like I am bubbles and unicorns until I'm not. Right. And when I am not bubbles and unicorns, it's like a shit show. It's like, whoa, right? I am emotional. I feel my way through life and I feel everything at its core. I know, I hear, I see things, and I know things before they happen. And when things and so often what happens was like, was getting triggered, but I was getting triggered over the same thing over and over again. And then I just stopped and I was like, wait a minute. This is my trigger. This is my wound. I have to heal this wound, right? Take accountability for your actions. Take accountability for your thoughts. Take accountability for who you are. Everything is you outpushed. Everything is you. And when we understand as a collective that we do the inner and the outer work at the same time to expand beyond the contracted energy, we're not strategic setting goals and like, go, yo, go, everybody go. It's like, pause, take a breath. What do I actually need to do? The words, if you're strategizing and you're setting goals in a really high vibration, it's very different than I got to set a goal and I got to strategize and I got to manipulate and I got to get this done, right? It's a very hard, wounded masculine energy, like 100%. And I may get flack from hearing this, but strategy, goals, all of that stuff, like intentions, desires, manifestations, it's a very different way of life. You could do whatever you choose to do, but if you choose to stay in the manipulation and the strategy and the goal aspect of it, you're choosing to stay in the wounded masculine aspect of it. And that's where the world's moving from. We're going to take another quick break and we're going to come back, and I'm actually going to give you a manifestation technique that will absolutely allow you to talk to your subconscious mind and understand what's going on with you and why you're creating this reality, guys. Stay tuned. We will be right back. Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for being on the Soul on Fire show. Today is a magical day because we're talking about the magic of manifestation, and understanding that it's not to manipulate or to construct or to strategize or to set goals and to grind and to get where you need to be, to actually move into the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies. Now, I want you to just take a moment in time, and I want you to get a pen and paper if you can. If you're driving, obviously, do this later. But so take a piece of paper and a pen, and I just want you to write down something that is showing up in your reality right now. I want you to write down exactly what is showing up in your reality, not emotionally attached to it, just facts, as if you were an observer, right? I want you to go through, and I want you to just be like, oh, okay, this is actually what's happening in my life, right? Now I want you to look at the heightened sense of emotion behind it. What's going on in it? What's the thoughts that are going on behind it? Is it a lower vibration thought? Is it fear, anger, hurt, sadness, guilt, and shame? Is it I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm not safe, secure, and protected, I'm not lovable, I'm not whole and complete? Like, what's going on in your thought pattern with that? And now also what's going on in your emotional state of being? Like, what's the emotion that's coming up, and where is it stored in your body, right? Where's it and if you wanted to know about the chakra system, you can go to noelleagape.com. I have a whole course on chakras and understanding the chakra systems. But if, where is it in my energy? And how do I feel when this is happening, right? What is my energetic force that I'm emanating out? What is the loop that I keep happen, the pattern that I'm in? And here's the big thing, guys. What is the trigger, right? What is the core of the trigger that is happening right? I want you to look at that trigger. I want you to write down exactly how you act when you're triggered. Exactly when this situation that you don't want in your life anymore shows up. What are your first thoughts? How do you feel? What are your triggers? How do you act with that trigger? Very important to understand as the observer. Why? Because how you act and how you respond is actually how you're going to manifest the next thing that comes from this. So, are you going to break the momentum, or are you going to start a new pipe and be like, okay, this actually is not where I want to be. This is not the vibration that I want to be. This is the frequency that I do not want to be. It's showing you your exact frequency, right? The higher frequencies are love, enlightenment, bliss, joy, happiness, right? Acceptance and hope are in the middle, but the lower ones are, the lower frequencies are fear, anger, hurt, sadness, and guilt and shame being the lowest of all of them, right? If you understand that you're at the lower end of the frequency, the opposite has to exist, because everything is already existing. We live in an infinite field of possibilities. Now I want you to write down, what would it look like if I had my true desire in full detail? What would that look like? What would that feel like? What would it smell like? Who would I be with? What would I be wearing? How would I feel? Right? I really want you to embody the feeling of it and the difference in that. I want you to see the massive contrast in that. Okay. From this space, I know I feel better in this space that of my desire, but what am I trying to do to make it appear? Am I trying to manipulate the energy? Am I connecting to the energy and then disconnecting to the energy? What are my blocks? What is holding me back? Right? I don't have enough money. The man's not showing up. I'm not happy if this is not coming in. When you realize that you actually, everything is you out pushed, you have to flip that switch in your head and be like, wait, this is me out pushed. This is not my highest self. This is not the person that I want to co-create with God with, right? This is a version of me that I actually don't want to accept anymore. But what I want you to do is actually accept that version of you. I want you to have a conversation with that version of you. What is it showing you? Maybe you needed that version of you to stay safe for a while emotionally, but maybe that version of you is completely old. And maybe you have to create a new identity. And here's the thing, guys. I want you to look at this new desire and I want you to see how it feels. I want you to embody it. I want you to feel it. But I want you to give it a name and an identity that you've never given to any of that old stuff before. Give that old stuff a name and an identity. Now I want you to actually go into your heart space and I want you to feel in your heart space. What's going on with this, right? Is there anything blocking me? Oh, it's, my father would, whatever it may be. Your heart is 1,000 times more powerful than your brain, right? Now I want you to go to the right side of your brain and I want you to talk to the right side of your brain. Then I want you to, and don't do this again if you're driving. And then I want you to talk to the left side of your brain. I want you to talk to your amygdala, which your amygdala holds your fear and it's a direct line to your hippocampus, which is your memories. What is the memories of this situation that is repeating through your entire life? I want you to actually make a conscious choice to talk to your subconscious about those memories, right? You're talking to your subconscious, you're talking to your body, you're talking to your mind, you're talking to your heart, you're making yourself have heart and mind coherence. When you understand that heart and mind coherence, when your mind and your heart are in alignment, it happens like crazy. You don't have to manipulate. You have to take inspired action and you have to do things that are beneficial, but you're not manipulating. So what in your mind is blocking you? What in your heart is blocking you? If you can't get to an agreement with your heart and your mind, where is a common middle ground that they can meet, right? If your subconscious doesn't believe that you can get there, but your heart really desires it, what's a common ground? What is a safe space for your mind and your subconscious to say, oh, okay, I could meet you there. And sometimes you have to compromise with your heart and your mind, not compromise your desire ever, but compromise meaning that you have to take baby steps to your manifestation. So today, what could we get into alignment with, right? If I'm not in a relationship, but I want to be in divine union and I want to be married tomorrow, or I have no money in the bank, which, it's not the case, but if I had no money in the bank and I wanted to have $10 million in the bank, what steps do I need to take to get that? Because your subconscious is not going to say, oh my gosh, yeah, of course I'm going to have $100 million in the bank when I've never even made $1 million. Not true, but that, I'm just saying, like, for you, what is it that needs to be the middle ground? What do you need to get to acceptance at today? Today, I accept that I was here. Yesterday, I was there, and I was actually a little bit better today than I was yesterday. How can I move this energy today a little bit further? What do I need to do with the electromagnetic fields? What do I need to do with my thoughts and my heightened sensitive feelings? How can I feel better today about this situation? What do I need to learn from this situation, right? It's doing the deep inner work, having the conversations. Where was I manipulating an energy? Where was I trying to be in control? Where was I not allowing that person to be in their highest self? Where was I enabling them? Where was I actually making the decisions that were not for the greatest and highest good? If you ask your subconscious all these questions, guys, and you can go back and rewatch this, I ask secondary questions to my subconscious mind all the time, right? How can I be better? Okay. I mean, I have tremendous goals, and my business in the last couple of weeks have been, when I tell you connections and relationships over the last 3 weeks of doing this work, guys, mind blown, like mind blown. There was situations and circumstances that I had to firmly say no to because I wasn't in alignment with that situation at the time. And I firmly said, I love this person, and I'm not in alignment with this person right now. So I have to focus my energy somewhere else, right? There are things and places and times that you need to just step back and be you and unapologetically be you in your desire and figure out what that is, guys. Figure out unapologetically what that looks like. What do I need to do to be better? There's some times in your life where you have to put people on pause, not put people on pause to manipulate, you put people on pause to get back to you, right? There's some times that you actually have to put your subconscious on pause. There's some times like I did last night where I was like, I'm just going to put that on pause, and I'm going to just imagine that actually never happened because it wasn't a priority on my list, right? It was something that was really pulling at my heart and my soul, but it wasn't a priority with my kids and my business and things of my goals or my intentions that I'm moving towards. And so I was like, that's got to be on pause right now. Like, it was a hard decision, but it was a decision that was for the greater and higher good, right? You go in and you have a conversation with your subconscious. You have a conversation with your heart. What today can I be in alignment with? What today can I take inspired action towards? What today can I actually connect to the energy and become the energy? How can I visualize this? How can I be at my end? Meaning, like, your end is not, oh, I'm going to lunch tomorrow. Like, your end is like, what is your desire? How does that feel? How have you embodied that? How can you become that identity today? Today, you have to become a new identity in manifestation. You have to become something, and you have to fully embody it and be a perfect vibrational match, because you are manifesting all day, every day. And when you understand that you're manifesting all day, every day, what are you a vibrational match to? Are you a vibrational match to manipulation, to lying, to lying to yourself, to others? Are you a vibrational match to, how are you not showing up fully authentic? Raw and real, guys. This is you and your journey on this manifestation process. How am I not showing up authentically with me and God? God sees everything, guys. God sees everything. You could lie and manipulate and strategize and set goals and do whatever you want. God sees everything. You cannot lie to yourself. You can't lie to energy. Manipulation is the ego. Manifestation is Christ consciousness, period. That is not manifesting if you are lying and manipulating and you're trying to maneuver things. Energy doesn't lie. It's energy. You are all energy. You can't manipulate energy and think that it's going to come out in a better way. You have to have authenticity. You have to come out with the highest and greatest version of yourself for it to come out as a pure vibration, to come out as a frequency that you're a perfect match to not have a wonky manifestation. You have to be in alignment with you, God, source, and the universe, and your purpose of this manifestation for it to happen. Manifestation is easy, it's fun, it is exciting, and it's effortless, in the sense that I know I have to do the inner work. I know I have to do the outer work. I know I have to get in alignment with God. If I am not in alignment with my desires, there's two things: the wanted and the unwanted. You're either at one of the vibrations, period. You're either at the unwanted vibration or the wanted vibration, or working somewhere in the between. And Abraham Hicks says this all the time: I'm ready to be ready to be ready. So you're getting ready for your full manifestation. How? You're embodying it. You're becoming it. You're changing your identity. You're letting go of people and toxicity and things that are not serving you. You're controlling your thoughts. You're controlling your energy. You're putting, I mean, guys, I am not kidding you when I say I've been hardcore for 3 months. I have not had a sip of alcohol, not one sip since June. Nothing since June. Why? Because I was just like, okay, this is never happening to me again, right? This pattern, and it's been 3 months of things happening and then me having to course correct. 3 months. And because why? Because my word was commitment, right? I was like, I am committed to making this happen, not making it happen in the sense that I'm going to manipulate, but I'm committed to the outcome of being everything that I need to be in divine union, to be a wife, to be everything I am. That means I had to look inside of me and take all of my shit out, all of it. Raw and real, guys. You have to understand manifesting is easy. It is fun. It is incredible. and you have to do the inner work. You have to do the inner work and you have to do the outer work, and you get to play. And the more that you feel good about anything, the more that you're setting your vibration higher, which is the heightened sense of thought and the heightened sense of emotion. When you're at that frequency, the lower frequency stuff cannot get to you. Period. You cannot be in the problem and the solution at the same time. They are completely different vibrations. Completely. So how are you focusing on the problem and not focusing on the solution? How are you literally frozen in fight or freeze, and you're not taking your life by the hands and saying, I am the co-creator of my reality. I create my life. This is upsetting me, and I need to cut these people out of my life. I need to cut these things out of my life. I need to cut these thoughts out of my life. I didn't even really drink alcohol to begin with. I maybe had 1 or 2 glasses of wine. I'm not even kidding you. It would take me a week to 2 weeks to finish a bottle of wine. It doesn't matter. That one thing, I was like, that's going to give me complete clarity, right? I am going to work out almost every day, or every day that I can. I'm going to eat clean. I'm going to make conscious choices. When I get into an argument with somebody, I'm going to course correct. When something happens, I'm going to course correct. I'm going to go in and do the work. I've never spent more time alone in my life than I have the last 3 months of my life. And I promise you this, those 3 months, I have gotten closer with God. I've gotten closer to my higher self, and I know what I am creating. Every single day that it doesn't show up, I am that much closer to my manifestation because I'm doing the work. Period. I know my manifestation is not here yet, but in the end of my result and my desires, it's already done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's a knowing in my head that it is done. It is done. I have embodied it. It is complete. There is no question in my mind. There are things that come up. I have to do the inner work. There's the outer work that I have to do, but there is no question in my mind about my children, about my relationship, about my business. There are 3 things: health, wealth, and business for me, and family. They are my priority. I am single point intention. I am zoned in. I am in my zone. And when I'm not in my zone, I absolutely 100% make sure that I go and I take time. I'll go for a hike. I'll go for a walk. I'll do whatever I have to do to make it right within me. Not make it right outside, because your external sources, you're looking for love in all the wrong places. If you're looking for somebody to make you happy, or something that make you happy, or that thing to complete to make you happy, or that thing to come in, or the money to come in, or the relationship, the man to be in your bed to make you happy, you are absolutely manifesting wrong. That's manipulation, not manifestation, guys. When you understand that you are connected to your higher self, Christ consciousness, that you have the power to create worlds within inside of you, your God source energy in a physical body. You are here to be abundant. You are here to be at the vibration of love. You are here to literally live your life at the higher vibrations. You making conscious choices all day, every day, to literally embody every piece of your highest self you can. There are times where you're going to fall. There are times that adversity is going to happen. You have to course correct. You have to be diligent. You have to be committed. You have to be embodied in the manifestation process to create the life of your dreams, because you are more powerful than you will ever know. Your God source energy in a physical body. It is God in you, through you. And when you understand the power that you have, and you understand that you, being the most powerful version of you, the world needs you more than ever. Your family needs you more than ever. You need to do this for you, for your kids, for your family, for the world, for everybody. Because when you are not making these choices, you are choosing to live at a lower vibration of manifestation. You're manifesting all day, every day. You are more powerful than you know, and you co-create your reality. Change your thoughts, change your patterns, change your belief, and change your reality. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.